Okay. Hello, xin chào các bạn. Chào mừng các bạn trở lại đến chương trình Thăng Tiến như chuyên gia. Thì hôm nay chúng ta có một khách mời rất đặc biệt và anh này là nhà sáng lập của một công ty mà đã khiến Linh rất nhiều khó khăn. Bởi vì sao? Bởi vì sản phẩm của anh ấy đã khiến Linh rất là ghiền. Mỗi ngày cần phải có. Đây là sản phẩm Marou Chocolate. Linh rất là thích nó và nó cái vị rất là ngon. Thì đây không phải là quảng cáo, hôm nay đây chỉ là Linh rất là ấn tượng với cái sản phẩm này. Và cũng rất là ấn tượng với anh đồng sáng lập này là bởi vì anh ấy đã có nhiều năm kinh nghiệm ở những cái lĩnh vực khác nhau, và khi qua tới Việt Nam đã quyết định vào ngành sô cô la, và đã trải qua rất nhiều thử thách để cho xây dựng một công ty mà không phải chỉ phổ biến ở Việt Nam mà bây giờ đang vươn ra toàn cầu. Thì Linh muốn anh ấy chia sẻ hôm nay để cho các bạn có thể học từ những cái trải nghiệm trước đây của anh ấy. Thì anh Vincent Mourou. Hello Vincent, welcome. Thank you very much for being here today.
Hello, yes, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
So I was just introducing your product and how it causes me a lot of pain because I got to have some every day. But I'd love to hear a little bit about your background. I understand it's very diverse. And so if you could give us a little bit of background on your work experiences and what has led you up to where you are today.
Yeah, so well, my name is Vincent Mourou. I am French. I was raised in the U.S. I was raised in upstate New York, and I went to the University of Michigan and studied pre-med and neuroscience before going off into film, where I worked in Hollywood for about 10 years, before then going off into commercials or advertising, which led me to Paris and London and back to the US before I realized that I had, my curiosity was going elsewhere. And so I decided to go travel, and that's how I ended up in Vietnam. I had a friend living here at the time who offered me a bedroom, and I went traveling around this amazing country and region and decided to stay here. I felt there was a lot to be done, a lot to discover. I was on a quest to reinvent myself and do something new that was closer to my values and something personal. So yeah, that's how I ended up in Vietnam. And I arrived Halloween Eve of 2009. Yeah, that's and it's been one great adventure ever since.
That sounds like a very interesting life, as well as a very interesting set of knowledge you've got stored up there, from neuroscience to filmmaking, and you're using kind of both sides of your brain. So I'd love to hear why you chose to stay in Vietnam and then also enter chocolate, right? I mean, it's nothing that you've done in the past, so there was no real foundation for it. So what intrigued you in this sector, and what have you learned over the years that has helped you to be where you are today?
Well, I've always been drawn to doing something new and original. And when I came to Vietnam, I was looking for something new. And the day that a friend told me there was cacao growing in Vietnam, I thought, wow, that's amazing. I love chocolate. I've always been drawn towards chocolate since I was a child. I had one grandmother who loved dark chocolate, and my other grandmother loved milk chocolate. And anyway, it's always just filled with just great things, happiness. So I thought, wow, why not? That's really intriguing. At the time, I didn't think I would end up making chocolate. I thought maybe I could become a cacao expert and deal with something here. But anyway, one thing led to another, and I met Samuel, my future business partner, and together we realized that we could do something original. We could actually we wanted to make a great chocolate in country. Most chocolate is made in colder countries, and the cacao is grown in the tropics. well, we thought that was really not necessary. I mean, we could do it here, and we could therefore have it, bring it to the Vietnamese and then also export. So that was just the beginning. That was the initial thought.
It's really interesting because when I first heard about Marou, it was, gosh, it was many years ago. And as I was reading your website, I realized that you were already selling outside of Vietnam almost before you really started focusing on Vietnam. It seems like kind of a different business strategy. Can you talk about why you decided to do that?
Well, actually, we started selling in Vietnam first.
Oh, okay.
But since the product was gained just much more interest right away overseas, we were invited to the Salon du Chocolat in Paris as young talents in chocolate because people were really interested in a product made in country. There was something original and not much, not seen very often. Only maybe 4 or 5 brands were doing that. So, and people didn't know Vietnamese cacao. It was really new to the scene, and the taste was different. And so all these chocolate enthusiasts were really excited. So that, yeah, it was more just because the attention was from overseas. But we've always, I mean, that was part of the initial conversation with Samuel, is that we felt our mission was to bring chocolate to more people in Vietnam, and good chocolate. And so, yeah.
That's really interesting because there is a big movement in Vietnam now to bring items that are made in Vietnam to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So while your aim was to bring a product that is traditionally made outside of Vietnam into Vietnam, but you actually had the effect of being able to get attention from the outside world. I think there's a lot of, how did you do that? Right. So what would you say would be maybe the top 1 or 2 factors that really helped you get that interest? Because I know when I started out my businesses, it's not so easy to get people's attention. Just because you make it doesn't mean people will buy it or people will be interested. So you make it seem easy, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't that easy. Can you maybe provide 1 or 2 tips on if someone is starting out and they're building a product in Vietnam? It can be really high quality, right? As you've proven, Vietnam can produce very high quality products. But how do you show the rest of the world that?
Well, the first thing is you need to do something that you truly believe in, and what we believe in is great chocolate. We believe that and quality in general. So just making something of the highest quality possible. And that was really our goal. We didn't know in the beginning if we were going to be able to do it because we weren't from chocolate. We had everything to learn. But that was where we wanted. That was our target, And first, to make a chocolate that we would like as chocolate enthusiasts, a chocolate that would persuade us, as we were going through this. So the first thing is quality. And I don't use the word lightly. I mean, I really believe you have to give a product all of its chances. And that was another thing. We thought we had everything going against us. We were not from a country known for a brand. We were not from a country known for cacao or chocolate. We were not from the world of chocolate. So we thought, well, we have a lot to prove, right? So we really wanted to give ourselves the best chance possible. Therefore, the taste of the chocolate, the quality of the packaging, the brand, everything behind what we were doing and are doing today is authentic. We weren't going to be a market-driven company with, making up slogans to attract people. No, it was really, we wanted people to see our bar on the shelves, recognize it for what it is, be drawn towards it, and then the taste is what eventually convinces and has people buy again. So yeah, it's actually not that complicated if you really kind of go down to the certain essential things. And for us, it was really making the best chocolate possible.
And I definitely agree with that. The product will stand for itself, right? There are a lot of gimmicks out there, but once people taste it, once people use a product, they have to become raving fans, right? Like myself, right? I'm just FYI, I'm not being paid for this, but I just really love the product, and so you just want to tell people because you really like the product. So one more question about work, and then we'll switch over to your some personal experiences. But earlier on, you mentioned that one thing led to another, right? And again, you make it seem so easy, but as all entrepreneurs know, the road to the entrepreneurship road is never easy. So when you started the business and you learned about cacao, and then you met your business partner, and then you said one thing led to another, right? Can you talk about a few of those early on things that really created the growth pathway, right? What are some of those pivotal moments that, if you had done it differently, maybe there wouldn't be a Marou now?
Yeah, I think the first thing, there's people spend a lot of time on concept, but they don't spend enough time on a relationship. So therefore, with a business partner, and so Sam and I, our first conversation was not on concept, was on our values. What did we really want to do? What were we willing to give up a career in, a successful one, good paying jobs, etc., to go down this adventurous path, and for us, so we realized we aligned on our values, and that was the most important conversation we had, because like you were saying, as you embark on this this adventure in entrepreneurship, there's lots of difficult moments, and you have to stick to your guns. And what are those guns? They're your values. They're what you use as your compass to get through the difficult moments, or get through the times where you may have to make you don't want to make the wrong decision, for example. So there were times, where we were, in the very early days, where we were, could be running out of cash at the end of the month, and there was an opportunity to sell chocolate, maybe a lot of chocolate, in the wrong place. And that might bring in some cash, but it's not good for the brand. We were into brand building, because if you cheat once, you will cheat again. And then that will make it so much, you'll create more problems for yourself. And that's what we believed in. And we stuck to our guns, and it worked out for us. So I think yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see the value in that, because most the statistics show that one of the key reasons why startups fail is issues between the co-founders, right? They just don't get the right alignment early on, and then future issues compound, and then things fall apart. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about some personal learnings that you've had. I understand that you have a young son. And I think if you were a woman, the standard question would be, how do you handle work and and family? And I think in today's world, most daddies are just as involved with their children. So I'd like to ask you, what is life like now with a young son? How old is your son, and what's life like now with him around?
So my son's name is Marcel, and he's 14 months old. And so he was born after COVID started, and he's been just a godsend, a bundle of joy and light during this challenging time. I have to say I'm a good father. I try to be as present as possible. I've been very present lately because obviously all of us are at home. But it's also been a challenging year. So I've been working actually more than I was working before, in a lot of ways. So luckily my partner Maggie, she's extraordinary, and she's sacrificed some things in order to really support me better. So yeah, it's but the goal is to be obviously more present and for us to do more things, really. I mean, today there's only so much we can do in a house.
Right.
We have to be very creative.
How involved are you with the baby? How much sleep did you get in the first 6 months of the baby being born?
Well, the first 6 weeks, we were both getting up and supporting each other in the middle of the night and all that, but that really started getting very, very difficult for me, then having to work full day and take care of the business. So Maggie stepped in more and took up the night role more and more as the months went on. Yeah, that's really just a tough one. We've been raising Marcel without a nanny, and we have a cleaning lady comes a few times a week. So a lot of the work is on our shoulders, and especially Maggie's shoulders, while I'm obviously taking care of things. But
it seems like you did you guys talk about this? Did you work out an agreement and basically Maggie's going to take more responsibility because you happen at this moment to have a lot of responsibility with the business? Is it something that you talked about like you did with the startup, and just kind of get clear on the values?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everything kind of happened at the same time, COVID and then having the child in our home and working out, being new parents, and our relationship as new parents. We're not just lovers and partners, we're parents and making that work as a family unit. So that's an adventure on its own. There's so much to
any
learn.
key takeaways? How are you organizing your days now to make everything work?
The number one thing is communication. I mean, you have to really just know that it's not going to be easy, and communicate with each other, and really, and also just place yourself in the other person's shoes, and really appreciate what that person is doing. And it's really that I think it's communication is key as new parents,
or business partners, or any other relationship in life.
Yeah, the more you bottle things up and the more you ignore things, the worse it can get, not better. So that's
okay.
But yeah,
great.
We're good.
No, that's great. Okay, so I guess one final question just to wrap up. You mentioned in our discussion earlier that there's more to come from Marou. And so I'd love to hear about some of the upcoming plans. What do you have planned for the brand, for the product, for the company?
Well, yeah, the brand is going to grow. I mean, we're going to be more and more present in Vietnam. We created a new concept. We have the Maison Marou, which is our flagship concept, which showcases everything that we do and more, with pastries and drinks and other products. And then there's Marou Station, and Marou Station is really the idea of going out to meet the Vietnamese, and with our fresh products and based on chocolate and our chocolate bars and anything new that we come up with. So we can actually, they're like satellites, so we can reach out to more people. And we're really excited about that because, Vietnam is ready today for this. And we love and believe in chocolate as a great vehicle for happiness and joy and health. So it's a great time.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Vincent, for your time today. I'm going to do a quick wrap up in Vietnamese for our Vietnamese viewers. Thì các bạn, hôm nay Vincent đã chia sẻ lộ trình của anh ấy trong suốt những năm nay mà anh ấy đã bắt đầu suy nghĩ về sô cô la. Thì anh ấy trước đây là kinh nghiệm của anh ấy là về khoa học và về làm phim. Thì khi mà về tới Việt Nam thì anh ấy đã phát hiện ra là Việt Nam cũng đang trồng cacao. Nhưng vấn đề là mình không có sản xuất sô cô la với chất lượng cao tại Việt Nam, thì anh ấy mới nghĩ đây là cơ hội. Đây là cơ hội để cho mình có thể sản xuất một sản phẩm từ chính nước mà đã trồng cái sản phẩm đó. Và sau khi đã tạo ra được sản phẩm này thì đã bắt đầu bán trong thị trường Việt Nam, tại vì mục tiêu là mang đến Việt Nam một cái sản phẩm mình chất lượng rất là tốt. Nhưng tình cờ cái là những người chuyên gia về sô cô la ở những quốc gia khác cũng rất là quan tâm, thì anh ấy đã bắt đầu bán ở bên nước Pháp, ở những quốc gia khác. Thì cũng rất là quan trọng ở đây thì anh ấy đã nói là cái bí quyết quan trọng là mình cần phải có một cái sản phẩm mà thực sự chất lượng. Thì đây là một cái bài học mình nên thấy rất là hay, bởi vì có nhiều bạn ngay lúc này nghĩ là chúng ta nên tạo một cái sản phẩm nào đó mà có thể đưa ra toàn cầu, thì nên nghĩ là khả năng này sẽ có, và ở Việt Nam có khả năng để tạo những sản phẩm với chất lượng rất là cao. Nhưng mình phải suy nghĩ thực sự chất lượng của sản phẩm của mình có thể so sánh với những sản phẩm toàn cầu hay không. Thì cái đó là cái điều quan trọng mà mình phải suy nghĩ tới khi mình muốn tạo một công ty mà có thể sản xuất sản phẩm để cho mình xuất khẩu. Và sau đó thì khi mà mình nghĩ về cái khả năng để thành công cho công ty, thì cái điều quan trọng mà anh Vincent nói là mình cần phải đồng ý với đồng sáng lập của mình về những cái cốt lõi chính của công ty. Bởi vì khi mà mình bắt đầu cái lộ trình khởi nghiệp, nó là một cái lộ trình rất là lâu, rất là xa, và mình buộc phải đồng ý với người đồng hành này. Thì cái điều quan trọng trước khi mình bắt đầu suy nghĩ về sản phẩm, về quy trình, về công việc, là mình phải suy nghĩ, hai người phải ngồi xuống, phải trò chuyện rất là thật lòng với nhau để cho mình hiểu với nhau trước khi mình bắt đầu. Và sau đó thì anh ấy cũng có một đứa bé nhỏ mới 14 tháng. Thì anh ấy cũng là trong mối quan hệ với vợ và với con thì cũng tương tự, là mình cần phải trò chuyện, phải nói chuyện rất là trung thật với nhau để cho mình hiểu biết là hai bên nhu cầu là gì và mình có thể đáp ứng được nhu cầu của cả hai như thế nào. Thì hôm nay anh Vincent đã chia sẻ rất nhiều cái lời khuyên mà Linh thấy rất là giúp ích cho những nhà sáng lập và cũng cho những người kinh doanh mà đang cố gắng tạo một cái sản phẩm, đang cố gắng tạo một công việc mà nó có thể cân bằng với cuộc sống và với những mối quan hệ của mình. Thì cảm ơn anh Vincent. Thank you, Vincent, very much for your time today. And I look forward to having more chocolate in the market. And best of luck to you, your son, your wife, and your business. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be with you then today. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. Stay strong.